it's a direct representation of the amount of lactose remaining in the product. So fermentation can break that down, which is why different types of cheeses will have different amounts of lactose. So this was part of what I was doing for my diet to repair my gut.
Okay, everyone, this is my buddy Ian. You've met him on a previous recording of an audio interview that we did together. So today we're talking about breakfast.
Thanks. Yeah. All right. So why we're talking about breakfast? Because it's when our first meal that breaks that period of time, usually when we're sleeping and we get up, and then we break the fast. So the fasting is when we're going without food, and that's giving our bodies a chance to regenerate, to clean itself. A lot of really great functions happen during that fasting period, and the longer you do it, there's a lot of different processes that go on. But so as you're coming out of fasting, it's really important to what you introduce your body to first. And the longer your fast, the more important that is. But I had some, when I was stationed in the military over in South Korea, there was a lot of stress there. I developed kind of an acid reflux, GERD, and that over time affected my intestines. And so then I was dealing with irritable bowel syndrome and just swinging between constipation and very loose bowels, sometimes just water or mostly water. And so I really started diving into what I'm doing, my eating and how to fix this. So if you could check this out. So I put some butter in here, and if you look at this, so you've got, this was just a dry cast iron skillet or pan. And so I put some butter in here, and you can see actually the separation of the fat from the butter, which is the clear looking bit of it. And then you've got the milk solids right here. And this is really the part that people have some digestive issues with, as far as the milk, for lactose intolerance kind of stuff. And so anyway, I wanted to show you how the butter separates like that, because I recently clarified some butter, and clarification of butter is how you separate that irritable piece of those milk solids with the pure fat, which is wonderful. So my wife, she has somewhat of a lactose intolerance, not a severe thing, but I'm actually going to eat a little more butter because I'm not quite enough in there. I clarified some butter for her because in the mornings we'll often extend our fast period using coffee and butter to keep our bodies using those longer term energy stores, the fats. So by doing that, then we can get up, we can still have our coffee, which is nice, kind of stimulates your metabolism, of course, gets us awake, but it also, but it's extending the fasting period where you're not taking in carbohydrates or sugars. Your body can still benefit from a lot of those fasting benefits.
So this is what you've made. Sorry, is clarified butter or ghee, which you can also buy or make. In your case, you're a hands-on type of guy. You made your own.
Yeah, and I like my daughter's art project over here, but yeah, we did I clarified the butter because you can do it yourself and it'll be cheaper than buying ghee at the store typically.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably spending a fortune on ghee, which is GHEE, but
yeah,
you're right, you can do it yourself.
So this is actually what it looks like once it's been clarified. Hopefully the light's good on that.
Yeah, perfect.
And then it re-solidifies, but it warms up. It's really nice. This is it can sit at room temperature.
Yeah, it's solid at room,
yeah.
I think, temperature. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is room temperature, and we'll be using this quick enough that we don't need to refrigerate it. But you can refrigerate it and keep it for about 7 months, just like you would butter. So, all right, so I've got that. I'm going to be frying my eggs. We have chickens in the backyard, but so we've got some natural eggs there. But this time of year, they're not producing as much, so I'm just going to use some store-bought. But I will say the store-bought eggs are just not as good.
You can tell a difference in taste?
It depends on if I'm having them straight or if I'm seasoning them.
Okay.
I usually season them and add cheese. I'm a cheese lover. Please don't criticize my egg cracking. So our the store-bought eggs actually crack differently than the ones that we grow in the backyard, and so my cracking technique is a little different. But so I'm going to fry these up. I like to. Oops, I didn't turn the heat off. But what I'm going to do is I just fry them up, and then I'll add some cheese, which I want to talk about shortly. But
and this is just about the first thing you've eaten today, and it's already noon.
Yes, I haven't eaten anything else. I got up at about 7:30, and I haven't been doing any kind of workout or exercise or something. I am hungry now. I'm not starving. I'm not ravenous, but I'm definitely feeling hungry right now.
And when you are running or training for your marathons, because I know you do that as well, Ian, do you exercise in the morning before eating, or do you mix it up?
I do mix it up, but often I will go for a run before having my main meal. Sometimes I'll have maybe a granola bar or something like that. But when you're doing high endurance activities, you just have to eat more, and you can eat more carbohydrates too, because you just burn it off.
Yeah,
you're gonna burn it off immediately. It's not gonna convert into fat. It's not gonna spike insulin because you're moving. Your body is, as it converts those carbohydrates into sugars that it uses, then you just you burn it off right away.
Very true. You're helping your body metabolize the sugars by moving the big muscles of the body, especially your quadriceps, and boom, you're burning up that fuel.
And so there's some athletes that will fully fat adapt, so they won't train with carbohydrates. They get their body into a mode that allows them to process fats for energy much more quickly than most people. And so they can do those endurance events with sustained energy. So I ran the Leadville Trail Marathon in Colorado, and that starts at 10,000 feet of elevation, peaks over 13,000, and does a whole lot of this in between. It's a full 26.2 miles. Actually, my GPS said it was 26 and a half when I finished. So I don't know what was more accurate, their measurement or mine, but it's a killer race. And he did the whole thing with just it was just like a couple little packets of peanut butter. That was it. And fluids, of course. But
incredible.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to do that crazy carbo loading people talk about the night before?
No.
That's what's incredible to me, because growing up as a kid, all the runners were saying, "Oh, I got to eat pasta all week."
Yeah.
Because I have a run, a race this Sunday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And to be fair on that, there's different kinds of athletics are going to require different types of nutrition. So a sprinter is not going to be someone who wants to be performing as only a fat adapted athlete. I don't think that's going to work out for him very well.
Mm-hmm.
But for most people who aren't doing professional level sports and athletics, then starting your day with fats is a great way to do it. I wanted to get back to the coffee just a bit. So my wife, she started doing the coffee and with butter in the morning, and then breaking her fast, actually getting her first meal towards 11:30. And she's a fitness instructor, so she was doing workouts and stuff like that, and was still able to extend using the coffee and butter method. But she noticed she was having some more bloating, some irritability. And so that's when I looked into clarifying the butter, clarified the butter for her, and she's been using it now for a couple of days and has had no problems. So if you have a lactose intolerance or some kind of irritation to milk products, then try clarified butter. It's really smooth. It has a higher temperature that you can cook with it at before it starts to burn. So you can get, I think it's up to about 400 degrees.
I think it's about that.
Yeah, with clarified butter before it starts to burn. So versus like 250, 260. I don't remember the exact, somewhere around there for just normal butter. So what I did on here was, I love cooking eggs this way. I just, I put the lid on it and then allow it to steam a little bit. And sometimes I'll put vegetables in here. And then,
man, that looks awesome.
And then you don't have to flip the eggs.
Excellent.
The steam just kind of cooks them from the top. So these are getting pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and cut up my cheese and turn the heat off. It being a cast skillet, it holds the heat a little better. So I'm going to cut the cheese. Now, if I can get you, David, to zoom in on these packages here.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to show the carbohydrates. So this one's just a mild cheddar here. Mm-hmm. And then on the back of it, maybe we can get a photo so we can get a nice clear one. But you can see it says carbohydrates less than 1 gram, which is good. And that gives you a really gives you a sense of how much lactose is in the milk, because the lactose is a type of carbohydrate. So, but on this one, which is
even less,
sliced provolone,
not even measurable.
Yeah, it's 0. So that one, if you have a sensitivity to lactose, this is going to give you, eating this cheese is going to be one of your best options for not having the dairy sensitivity effects, versus this, which is a finely shredded taco style cheese blend.
Okay.
This one has 2 grams.
Okay.
So you're going to have a little more irritation from eating this kind of cheese.
Because those carbs are all sourced from the milk solids. That's what's giving it the carb content?
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
But it's a direct representation of the amount of lactose remaining in the product. Mm-hmm. So fermentation can break that down, which is why different types of cheeses will have different amounts of lactose.
This is a huge tip because a lot of people have some degree of sensitivity to either milk or butter. Yep.
Yeah. So this was part of what I was doing for my diet to repair my gut. And I was essentially doing the Candida diet. So you're very careful about the types of sugars and things that you're putting into your body. And part of my Candida diet type of thing was watching carbohydrates and sugars and avoiding things like lactose. So that's where I learned that tip, and it was very helpful. Basically, just cutting down my sugars to very little was what helped me reduce the inflammation in my gut and get that healthy again. And then every now and then I'd have fermented products or yogurts. Yogurts have natural bacteria in there that's that they actually give to it, put in the yogurt to give
so it's your friend. It's helping you get rid of, right, or metabolize some of the sugars.
Yeah. So, because you can see, if you look in the back here, you've got live and active probiotic cultures, L. acidophilus and B. lactis and those things. So you can get that in yogurt, but the downside is most yogurts have a lot of added sugar.
Ah, okay. Yep.
Right. So this one.
So now you're undoing the positive benefits of the live cultures by adding a bunch of sugar.
Yeah, you can. So when I was repairing my gut, I was getting plain yogurts, so without added sugars. And so like this one. This one has 5 servings per container. So it's not a huge container. And it has 27 grams of sugar in it. 27.
Per the container or per serving?
No.
Per serving. So it's that times 5 for the entire, got it.
Yeah. So,
man.
And 21 of those grams were added sugars.
Jeez.
Yeah. So you got to be careful. Even things that you think, oh, yogurt's healthy.
That's
is
rough.
it?
Yeah.
Is it that healthy?
That's basically
if you're really trying to give your body the best opportunity to repair itself, you've got to virtually eliminate sugars. And that means reading a lot of labels because most of American food just has pounds of added sugar. Looking at soft drinks, even fruit juice drinks in the store. Look at the back of those and see how much added sugar is in it.
On top of the fructose
which
orange
is the natural sugar, but
incredible.
Yeah. So you just got to be careful with that stuff. Read the labels. And then just by eating this protein and basically just protein and fat for breakfast, now I'm extending my fat burning process even longer. And then the mid-afternoon, that's when I'm going to look at going, oh, you know what? I'm out with friends and we're going to, or maybe it's somebody's birthday and I'm going to have birthday cake or something, you know?
That's the time to do it.
Yeah. Is in the afternoon or early evening. So you don't have to do this. You don't have to give up everything. It's about timing it so that it's giving your body the best opportunity to stay in that fat burning mode, especially if you want to lose weight, or if you don't need to lose weight, you know, because I probably don't need to lose weight. And my wife says, you definitely don't need to lose weight.
I mean, you're in the 160s, I think, and you're over 6 foot tall.
Yeah. 6'1", about 164 currently.
Yeah.
And
you're strong. So yeah.
Um,
it's all lean muscle in your case.
so yeah,
So it's working. If you can do that in your 40s.
so if you're not trying to lose weight, you want to still consume the same number of calories that you normally would with 3 meals, but you're doing it between lunchtime and through dinner. And then that way you're getting a really good opportunity to get all those fasting benefits, which hopefully David will talk more about. And yeah, it gives your body a chance to heal, and really reducing those sugars and carbs. Good. This is my break fast. It
was great.
Yeah, and I'll often add veggies and seasonings, and
so you might have some cheese with it, and that's it, or will you have a salad with it, or anything else?
Well, often I'll add greens to it.
Okay.
So I just didn't prepare any today, but
almost omelet style. Or
something. I love adding things like ground turmeric,
yes,
parsley, or other greens that are going to add nutritional value to it. But you can mix it up. I like to add red pepper too. Red pepper is gonna.
Me too.
Any of those kind of like spicy peppers are also gonna help boost your immune system. So especially this time of year, adding these kind of spices will just give you a little bit extra. I mean, why not? When people are getting sick, and the turmeric helps reduce inflammation. So
yeah, that's good for joints, good for digestion. Exactly. I believe.
So I don't know. Do you have any questions about?
No, man. This is great.
What I do.
So if you're gonna break your fast with proteins and fats, that's a great way to start your day, and then go ahead and have the sort of what we would call normal stuff later, lunchtime, if you want. Something more sweet based or more carb based. The sweet potatoes, for example.
After you've had some of that, so I'm bringing this out just to say that you can still have things that are.
That looks like a cheat day to me.
Yeah, that are going to be not low carb or low sugar. So yesterday we were celebrating our foreign exchange student's birthday, and her request was cinnamon rolls. So we made some homemade cinnamon rolls, and I had one, So you don't have to just stop eating and be antisocial. You can still integrate some of these things. They're not going to kill you. But the key is doing it in moderation and doing it at a time of day that's best for your body. So after you don't want to start with those sweet things, because then it's just like, just a kick to your system. Versus coming into the day, starting your first food being something that's higher protein, higher fat. That's going to give your system a little chance to ramp up before you hit it with something that's like massive amounts of simple sugars. It's going to not be good for your system.
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, we treat our cars this way. We don't floor it immediately on a cold morning and do a drag race.
That's a perfect example. Exactly.
I'm learning from you on this, because there are times that I do start with the sweets in the morning, but I'm gonna switch that.
Yeah. And
when I say sweets, I don't usually mean cookies, but it's still carb heavy stuff. Like I say, maybe sweet potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know you're a little more strict about what you eat, even than I am, but I'm 42, and so I can get away with a little bit more than probably you can. But I'm still giving my body a good amount of time to warm up into it, right? And I think most people can eat this way and still gain a lot of health benefits of kind of extending their fast with the coffee and butter or clarified butter, ghee, is a great way to extend a lot of those benefits of fasting. And then you can still eat normal the rest of the day. You're just starting later. So
awesome, man.
Yeah.
I invite you to join the conversation with myself and other men and what we're all doing to find that inner savage and bring them to life, not only for our benefit, but for the benefit of those around us, people we care about. All right, man, stay strong.